Hey guys, Daryl Mason here, coming to you this fine Monday night. I just want to elaborate a little bit on what I had talked about on Friday. Back on Friday, I told you a little bit of information about a book that I was reading. It's called Miracle Morning. It's by Hal Elrod. And it's a professional or personal development book. And it's got really a lot of good information in it. So I wanted to go over and kind of flesh out some of the things I was talking about Friday. So here we go. I believe this book gives us a lot of practical, results-oriented, and effective ways to improve all areas of our lives. That could be financial, it could be health, it could be happiness, spiritually, or relationships. So this is my summary of a small section of the book that really hit home with me. I touched base with you a little bit on Friday and talked about it. So I want to just give you a little more detail about what the book was saying in this section that really struck home with me. So every day we wake up and we face the same challenge. How do we overcome mediocrity and live our life to our full potential and rise above the excuses, do what's right, give our best, and create that level 10 life that few people get to live? And this was something that was there in the book that referred to the Social Security Administration. And for our friends in Canada and Australia, let me explain a little bit about Social Security. It's a government program. We all pay into it as we work during our work lives. And when you get to retirement age, there's a small income supplement, for living expenses. It's called Social Security Administration. So SSA says that if you follow any of 100 people, and if you start following them when they start into the workforce, when they start working, you follow them for the next 40 years about to where they get to the retirement, here's what you'll find. Only one of those 100 will be wealthy. 4 will be financially secure. 5 will continue working, not because they want to, but because they have to. 36 will be dead. That kind of surprised me. And 54 will be broke and depend on family, relatives, friends, or the government. Monetarily speaking, that says only 5% of us who will be successful, 95% will struggle or will be dead. And that's kind of what I covered on Friday, but I wanted to flesh it out a little bit. What are those causes of mediocrity? Some of the causes that Elrod says, the rear view mirror syndrome. I never really heard of this, but it makes sense when you explain it. We're continually reliving our past. A lot of people, something bad happens. It's like, well, I've got that cloud over my head. Nothing ever works out. Something happened back 50 years ago, and now it's happening again. We can't get past the past. Leaving the past, leaving it alone, it continues to affect us if we don't just move on, if you will. We carry that stress. We carry the fear and worry from yesterday to today. Yesterday you can't do anything about. I mean, it's easy to say, I understand, but we can't let that affect what the future. The only thing we can control is today. Another item that he talked about, or one of these things that leads to mediocrity, is a lack of purpose. I mean, how many people, if you ask them, what is your purpose in this life, you'd hear crickets, or they just give you that kind of blank stare. The average person takes life one day at a time. And I've known lots of people that are that way. So that's a leading one of the things that leads to mediocrity. Isolating incidents. We assume that each choice we make and each individual action is only affecting that particular moment. Like, what's the big deal if you don't go to the gym today, if you miss that workout, or if you eat fast food today, junk food today, you're going to have a do-over tomorrow. But really, what's happening is reality is those choices and actions are determining who we are becoming. And T. Harv Eker, I never heard of him, but it's a pretty good quote here. It says, how we do anything is how we do everything. And that kind of makes a lot of sense. So in other words, those little small actions, they're basically teaching us, how we're going to be, in the future. Those little things, you become habits, and they become part of our makeup. A lack of accountability. This was a big one for me. The link between accountability and success is irrefutable. Virtually all successful people, from CEOs to the President of the United States, embraced a high degree of accountability. It gives them leverage that they need to take action and create results even when they don't feel like it. that time, if the alarm goes off, you need to get up, you got things to do. If nobody's waiting on you, you can just hit the snooze and just sleep another half an hour and waste that time. If you've got that accountability partner that's going to meet you at the gym, you're going to get up and go do it. It's kind of an oversimplification, but that's how it works. We all know that. It's the act of being responsible to someone else for an action or a result. So I encourage you to get an accountability partner. And here's another one that I've heard before. I love this one. It's really kind of sad, but I think it's completely true. It's called a mediocre circle of influence. And research has shown that we virtually become the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. It's kind of a scary thought sometimes, isn't it, about the people that we hang around with sometimes. Who you spend your time with may be the most important factor in the person you become and the quality of your life. Sometimes it's, the people that, are the procrastinators, or they might be, kind of lazy and not really have any motivation. That has an effect if we spend a lot of time around them. So, sometimes we don't have to just stop loving them. We just don't spend quite as much time with them. So I thought that was really true. Lack of personal development. Basically that's what this book is. It's personal development. And I'm just paraphrasing Jim Rohn. He says, your level of success in every area of your life will rarely exceed and usually parallels your level of personal development. So what are we talking about? Doing things, reading books, increasing your knowledge, your skills, beliefs, habits, etc. So that's tremendously important, improving your quality of life and even financially. Here's another one, a lack of urgency. Most people have no sense of urgency to improve themselves so they can improve their lives. Human nature is to live with a someday kind of mindset. Someday, I'm going to go to the gym. Someday, I'm going to learn karate, whatever it happens to be. Someday never gets here. That someday mindset, and they think that, life's just going to work itself out. Well, if you look at those the data from the Social Security Administration, when it gets to retirement age, 54 people have to depend on someone else, so it really didn't work out. So that's not really working very well for most people. And another good quote that was in the book is from Robert Sharma. One of the saddest things in life is to get to the end and look back in regret, knowing that you could have been, done, and had so much more. And isn't that true? Absolutely true. So I just want to encourage you, get the book, Hal Elrod, Miracle Morning. It's really great. It's a great read. I'll come back to you, give you a few more tidbits, flesh them out, and talk to you again. Have a great evening. Have a great week. Bye-bye.